Peace and love, everybody. Some songbirds here to get us going. Exploring the Aramaic Jesus. Revelations of unity and divinity. Thanks for being here live this morning. Thanks for watching by recording. Let me know your comments. I'm always responsive. Hi, Lee. So, with his permission, I've publicly explored Dr. Neil Douglas-Klotz's Revelations of the Aramaic Jesus, the hidden teachings on life and death. Today, we come to a pivotal understanding of how Jesus understood himself, which aligns with wisdom from my near-death experiences, multiple mystical experiences, and Kundalini experiences. The implications of what you are about to hear are far-reaching in Christendom. Jesus, or Yeshua, lived in a permanent state of unitive being, a unitive state of being permanently. He lived simultaneously in oneness, which is also two-ness, duality, and singularity. He told us that we can too. I do. And you can too. We'll discuss the Aramaic Jesus from the Peshitta Gospels in Syriac churches, from the Syriac Aramaic language, which was Jesus' original language. It's what he spoke. It's what everybody spoke. Thank you, Natasha, for the super chat. Hey, Stephanie, Pat, Brooke, Ken, Kevin, Stephen. So here it is. This is from the John 10:30. Jesus says, "The Father and I are one." From the Koine Greek, as in the King James Version, "The Father and I are one." Yeshua in the Peshitta. Now, listen carefully. I'm going to lean in here. Listen carefully. I am one in loving togetherness with the breath. I'm going to take it again. I am one in loving togetherness. My gosh, I'm slaughtering it here. Listen carefully, he says, and then he slaughters it. I am one in loving togetherness with the divine parental breathing life of all. I'm going to repeat it. I am one in loving togetherness with the divine parental breathing life of all. So let's break down the Aramaic. Ina wa abi had hanan. That's the Aramaic, and I'm sure I slaughtered it. In 5 points. We'll break it down in 5 points, ending with a relensing of John 10:30 and 34 to 49, so that you may understand that Yeshua sees you as a God with a lowercase g. Here's the breakdown of John 30 in 5 points. 1. Understanding one together. Had Hanan. The critical phrase Had Hanan means one together rather than simply one. This nuance is crucial because it emphasizes a relationship of unity without merging into indistinction. In my first near-death experience, I experienced this communion of love together as one, a merging that maintained distinction, oneness and distinction. This is not normal in our human experience, to be both at the same time. Hanan suggests a loving relational togetherness. Yeshua is portrayed as living in a loving relationship with the breathing life of all, and a loving relationship with the breathing life of all, the divine parent or God. During my first NDE, I experienced the life of all, being breathed into being by the Creator, my divine parent. I experienced a loving relational togetherness, as many near-death experiencers do. I experience it here and now in this life to a much lesser intensity than in heaven, but in a perceivable energy presence of sureness, safety, and security. 2. Unity and distinction. Unified field of love. This is a unified field of love. In the ancient Semitic perspective, okay, this is in the ancient Semitic perspective, reality with a capital R created the original unified field out of love. Reality, and we've talked about the deeper darkness, created the original unified field out of love. All diversities and distinctions in the universe arise from this initial unity inside of everything. During my first near-death experience, I experienced reality being created out of a unified field of love. I've talked about this on many channels and here. One yet distinct. Yeshua and the divine are unified but remain distinguishable. This is compared to magnetic poles with a single field, illustrating a unity that contains distinct elements. I live in a unified field, and I am distinguishable. I know that many of my NDE friends and others are too. 3. The breath of life and love connectedness. Breath of life. Ha. H-A. Ha. Or the breath of life. And Nan, Hanan. Nan means uniting individuals with the divine. Divine. This breath, Ha, symbolizes the vital life-giving connection, meaning the breathing life of all. Ha, Nan. Ha, the breathing life of all. It symbolizes this. In my first near-death experience, I experienced being breathed or spoken into being, given life from the all life in loving connectedness. We have a natural inclination to love. Yeshua understood that humans inherently desire to unite with Source, with a capital S, to unite with the source of all creative love. This natural inclination is rooted in the original love, the field of love, connection of all creation. And here, in this love, in this field of love, is where our emptiness is filled. I returned from my near-death experience with the same inherent desire to unite to the all creative love, to the source of everything there is. Because of this field of love, that's why I pursue it. 4. Conscious and unconscious choices. Expression of desire. The way humans express our desire to unite with the divine depends on our consciousness, whether we're conscious or unconscious, whether we make conscious choices or unconscious choices, reflecting our spiritual maturity or ripeness, whether we make this conscious choice or we're not making conscious choices. It reflects our spiritual maturity, our ripeness. Do you want to ripen? I do. What's your soul's intention? Mine's to ripen. 5. Response to Yeshua's teachings, misunderstandings, and resistance. When Yeshua's audience reacts with hostility, they picked up stones and they were going to kill him. They were threatening to kill him for what he said, I and the Father are one. He highlights the irony of this by asking which of his good works are they stoning him for. Symbolically, this underscores the misunderstanding and resistance to his divine unity and love message. Thank you, Vineyard Worker. It looks like a similar misunderstanding that exists today. Don't you think? Here's a summary of everything I just said, and hopefully I won't continue to stumble, but that's today. Today I have a stumble there. Here's a summary of this Aramaic section before we look briefly at John 10:34-39 through this lens. The mystical meaning of the I and the Father are one is rooted in Yeshua's profound understanding of unity in love, as expressed in the original Aramaic, having arisen during his enlightenment. His unity is not a mere merging, but a relational togetherness that reflects the fundamental nature of reality, with a capital R, as a loving creative force living in us now, the golden speck of light inside you. His Aramaic teachings emphasize the inherent human inclination to seek and express this divine love, even in the face of misunderstandings and oppositions. So, with our new understanding from the Peshitta, let's take a look at John 10:34-39, because they reveal a profound insight into the nature of divinity, of our human potential, the unity of Jesus with the divine and ourselves. We are gods with a lowercase g. You might want to read John 10 on your own sometime this week to get the full scene, because we're going to pick it up at verse 34. Jesus responded to his enemies by referencing Psalm 82:6, which says, I have said, you are gods. By invoking this scripture, he pointed to the truth that divinity resides within all human beings, pointing to the latent divine potential within humanity arising from this unified field of love. He emphasized that the Psalms identify humans as gods, implying a profound mystical truth about the intertwining of human nature and divine energy. He self-identified as a person whom the ineffable had energized and sent into the world. Yeshua highlighted his role and mission as a manifestation of the divine on earth. And I think that many NDEers, we feel the same. We feel akin to this. We had this experience, and now we know we have a role, and we feel our mission. I do. I feel this. It's a thing that transcends ordinary human experience. By asserting, I am God's child, Yeshua claimed an intimate relationship to the divine that transcends this ordinary human experience. It's right there, grounded in his divine mission and identity. He knew his original identity, as many near-death experiencers do, and mystical experiencers too. Grounded in this new identity, many of us are pushed toward a sacred mission. The story concluded as Jesus challenged his audience to judge him by his words and deeds. His works, which reflect the divine parent's will, proved his divine nature and mission. He emphasized that the divine is in him and that he is in the parent, one in the other, illustrating an airy mystical unity, the two together. This mutual indwelling, one is in one and the other is in the one. It's like what? I don't know, superposition? This mutual indwelling is an inseparable connection to oneness. I know, and have felt this since the night I came back from my first death. Have you experienced something similar to anything I'm saying, to anything that Jesus is saying here? If so, please comment. Please let me know. Because this is a radical shift from Christendom. Yes, says Ellen. Natasha says yes. Hi, Brian in Freeport. Good morning, Brian in Freeport. Hi, Catherine. Glad you got here, even late. That's great. Um, so if you feel this, despite his explanations and the evidence of his works, his enemies, despite all of this, his enemies attempted to seize Yeshua. They attempted to grab him, reflecting their resistance to the revolutionary message of divine unity and inability to perceive the deeper mystical truths he embodied. Yeshua makes it his point to tell us that we can too. We can live in the same divine unity as him. And I think many of us, at least in the near-death community, do. And right here in this group, many of us in the mystical community do. Because the divine isn't exclusive to the NDEers. It creates the opportunity for this unitive experience regardless. Jesus, he knew himself, and he knew that we are like him and that he is like us. We are gods with a lowercase g, K-bits of God with a capital G. And the database. We are K-bits of the infinite database. Essentially, we're the same as Jesus at the very core of our being. What he experienced, we can experience. I do. I live this bubble of heaven. His escape symbolizes his elusive. So get away from these people. They tried to seize him. They didn't get him. And his escape symbolizes the elusiveness of the divine truth to those who are too unripe to receive it, and the protection of his divine mission until its fulfillment. He got away. May we all be so protected on our mission. Millions of near-death experiencers understand this truth with a capital T, the uppercase T, and millions more of mystical experiencers do. From the direct experience of love and light, directly we feel it. And there are exponentially more spiritually transformed people than NDEers, touched by love and light, who also understand because you've seen, felt, intuited, experienced, and transformed, and find yourself tuning into the higher frequency. Tune into your godhood. The cosmic consciousness has a feeling. Prana hums, tingles, warms, cools, calms, and vibrates. This Christ consciousness, it frees, supports, heals, cares, loves, protects, and leads. This universal consciousness, this whatever name you want to give it, this divine energy, this unified field of love. And don't we need this? And these national and global times of trouble, isn't this what humanity needs? Don't you think? Join the conversation at Mystic Tea Salon. We'll have a talk about this, where we crowdsource wisdom from experience with authenticity, humility, compassion, and kindness from Japan to Ireland, around the world. Find the link in the description. Thanks to those of you who support my work and make it possible for me to be here. You know who you are. Some of you are here today. Many of you are. And thanks for the super chat there, Vineyard Worker. You know who you are, and thank you. Visit peterpanagore.love if you want to speak with me, or join our community mission through PayPal or Patreon. Thanks, everybody, for being here today. Let's take a look at the chat. I hope that I kind of feel like I stumbled a lot today. But let's see what you all have to say. Peter, I love what you said about feeling your purpose. That is what happened after an NDE or awakening. It's unmistakable. Yeah. Talking true with Julie Hoyle. Yeah, it was unmistakable, and I couldn't not do it. I don't know about you, but I had to follow it. It was not possible for me not to follow it. Thanks, Lee, with a little heart. That love is like the powerful gaze of a newborn child to the mother. Oh, it is like that, Brother Ed. That's a really good way of putting it. It's like that. Christianity maintains that we must believe in Jesus or be sent to hell. How unloving is that, says Caroline. Yeah, I know, it's kind of crazy. It's insane, especially because, Jesus, the man out of Nazareth, he probably didn't appear on every planet in our galaxy or in the galaxies because, they don't have the same DNA we do. At least some of them don't. I assume that many of them don't. So, does he exclude everybody? I don't think so. I'm trying to be not, KC. That is the trick, isn't it? To be not. Sources everywhere in everything, never absent, always available, connected, integral, and infinite. And NDE is not necessary to feel that connection. It is not. It's not. It's a shock, actually, when you have it that way. It's better. There are other ways of doing it. But no, you don't need an NDE because it transcends. It's everything there is. Hey, Barbara, good morning to you. Good morning from Montana, Caroline. Stephanie Bradbury. So good to see you here, my friend. Christianity makes a distinction between creation and creator, I think, for fear of pride, but this is a false distinction. Well said, Reverend. Exactly so. It does. It's out of fear, because everybody is afraid of being part of God, but you can't help it because that's what we are. Let's see. Good morning from Nassau, says Julie. Everything you're saying, Peter, has been my direct experience since having a radical awakening decades ago. Amen to that, sister. Exactly. And I bet if you had been a member of church, did you get kicked out? John Stone. Yes, Peter, this is what I experienced. Yes, says Holly. Yes, says Ellen. Yes, says Natasha. All right, I'm going to skim back down to the bottom. Oh, I should say hi to folks who are from far away. I saw someone from Singapore here. Let's see. We got Lee and Natasha and Susie in Boulder, Kevin in Portland. Which Portland are you in there? East or west? Ken C. Up there in Canada, across the Gulf of Maine from me. Kristen, no bullfrog on the audio. Thanks, sister. Brooke in California. Good to see you here. My friend Pat, Stephanie, and Zoe in Singapore. Nice. We're global. Stephen in South Carolina. Than Nang Nujen. We are gods from the same white light. Yes, we are. This is the truth. Hi, Sean and Linda, California. Beyond the Veil, good morning. Oh, hi, Micah. Trusto 101. Preach, wise one. Even with my stumbles. I was a stumbler today. Catherine, you arrived late. All right, I'm going to skip down to the bottom, and we're going to meet at the top of the hour. The link is below in the description for Mystic Tea Salon. Brian, can you speak about secular spirituality? I struggle to find my personal path. I resonate with Neem, Kurli Baba, and Ram Dass. A single dogmatic path is frightening to me, though all paths lead to one. Yes, a secular spirituality. That would be a great subject for Mystic Tea Salon. Religion is a place where, in all these different traditions, including Neem Korli Baba and Ram Dass, are expressions of this mystical experience. But this mystical experience that we have has a universal nature to it. So I've become what the reason why I didn't get into Boston University Theological School is because where I was applying is because the dean sussed me out, and he called me a mystical syncretist, a person who, we don't have syncretists here, he said, a person who picks from all these different religions in order to build a conceptualization of what we're talking about, not through belief, but by way of expressing the inexpressible. So I'm not sure that there's a single dogmatic path out there. I mean, there are single dogmatic paths. I'm not sure that anyone is better than another, but I will say this, that the practice of I'm going to talk about Kriya Yoga. Sorry, everybody. The practice of Kriya Yoga, or a deep mystical path that uses the divine energy or is used by and uses the divine energy as both the lead and the experience of the presence of the divine, supersedes all the dogmas. So by going inward and connecting to the divine source itself, All of the dogmas are intellectual things. It does an end run around those and undermines those and gets to the core of the being. And then there's expression. You can talk about it with Neem Corley Baba or Ram Dass or Jesus. But the thing itself is none of those. And well, it's also part of some of all of those. But in and of itself, it is above and beyond all of those things. And I hope that helps a little bit there, Brian. We could talk much more in depth at the top of the hour. Natasha in Australia, good day, mate, over there. Do I say good day, mate? Is that the proper thing to say? I hope so. Good afternoon from Poland. Masto79, good afternoon from Poland. I nearly moved to Poland once. That's another story. I came this freaking close. Anyway, hi, Charles in Hawaii. Nice to meet you. Aloha out there. Can't not meet you. I know you. I'm glad you're here. Aloha. See, I'm stumbling all over the place today. Kenzie, Singapore. That is very cool. Yeah. So he's over there in Singapore. Wanda. Hi, Wanda. I need to learn to trust better, methinks. Thank you. Helpful, well supported concepts. Thanks, Wanda. I appreciate that. I felt like I was stumbling today, and I appreciate that from you. Brian, you're welcome. All right. We got about 4 minutes. I'll see you at Mystic Tea Salon. Peace and love, everybody. See you soon. Hi, Alexandra in Germany. And Christina in Central Florida. All right, I got to go. We only have 4 minutes. See you soon.